Yeah, don't say right here until I push the button.
Well, push the button when I press my button.
No, because we always. No, you're the one who complained and saying, "Oh, sometimes the sound starts before the video kicks in."
What
So
doesn't matter? Now we know how to edit.
now you know how you put my teeth in.
Start that again.
Now you know how to edit.
It
Nothing to do with me.
depends on how you edit the sound.
I always yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
welcome back
everybody,
to a slice of fried gold.
I'm Paddy.
I'm Ben.
If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, give us a subscribe to the channel, and ring the little notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video.
And give us a little comment because, every single bit of interaction helps.
It does indeed. It does indeed. We won't guarantee that we'll reply back to you, but if you comment, then we will back.
When we're only getting like 3 to 4 comments a video, I'm pretty sure we can promise that we'll reply.
Yeah. We've got nothing better to do. I'm just teasing you. I'm teasing you. Just poking it in.
Your mother watches this, don't forget.
She's already mortified with my life. Oh dear.
And if you're listening on Spotify, welcome. We will try and be as descriptive as possible. Because here's the thing, I've been listening back to our old ones because, of course, we've done this with YouTube in mind where people can see us.
Yeah. There's sometimes
where we're just talking stuff like on stuff that's happening in the car. And I'm just like, yes, these people won't know what is going on.
It's like they don't know all my little cool edits that I put within the GIFs and everything.
No, they won't get the funny GIFs that you put in, which is a shame.
It is a shame. They are amusing.
Anyway, welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
So, how are you?
I'm okay. It's been a relatively busy week, pretty full on. I've been doing what you've been doing last couple of weeks and covering people's holidays. So my workload's like doubled. So it just means that I've been pretty full on, and it's just been non-stop really. So it's always nice not to have to like go into work and not have to deal with Karens or anything, but it means that I have no juicy stories to tell for this, which is somewhat annoying because
Otherwise, you're bland and boring.
Yes, we know. Everybody knows. I'm an unseasoned white man.
Where's the spice?
Where's the spice of life? Oh dear. But yeah, I've got nothing to report, I'm afraid. Again, boring week.
Boring week.
How about you?
Yes. So this weekend I tried to reclaim my youth.
Oh, okay.
And I collectively had about 7 hours sleep.
Ooh.
And I have remembered that my youth is way behind me.
Yeah. You're not long off 30, man. You can't be doing that anymore.
I woke up at like Monday morning to get ready for work, and I was just like, oh no, what is this? And it was just it was shocking because you remember me when I first passed my test at 17 when I was driving around till 2-3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So it was just like, how did I used to do that? Honestly, I do not know. But in saying that, I have got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
How do you manage to drink alcohol like every day and still have like a relatively clear complexion? How do you do it?
Wow. If I didn't already upset my mother on this video, on this episode, it's probably because I'm a hardened alcoholic.
Okay.
I drink plenty of water.
Okay. So on Friday, I decided to have, no, on Saturday, I decided to have a bit of a tipple.
Oh, okay. He had a tipple.
I had a tipple. Guess how many drinks I had?
Oh, 12.
4.
Wow.
I had 4,
okay.
Which, for me, is not much. I can drink, when it comes to it, I can drink, I can put it away.
Yeah.
But I had 4 drinks. That's all I had, 4 drinks. I woke up Sunday morning with this huge F-off spot on the tip of my nose. Big white thing.
Oh,
I looked like a coked out version of Rudolph. Like, seriously, I was just like, it's what, and naturally I did what everyone does, popped that one, and throughout the day, every time I caught myself in the mirror, another spot was appearing. It was like a war between me and my face.
Jeez.
And I was like, is this what happens on 4 alcoholic drinks?
What alcoholic beverages did you have?
I had some of that banana rum that my parents gave me.
Ooh.
Because
high in sugar.
Yes. Well, this is the thing. So when they go to the Canaries, because they love going to the Canaries,
They do.
they have this dream of retiring to the Canaries, but it's never going to happen because they need to have money to do that. Anyway.
Oh, savage.
What?
I know. Carry on.
It's not savage if it's true. Anyway, when they go to the Canaries, they drink this honey rum, and it's the kind of rum that you can just bit of ice and just sip at it.
Yeah.
So when they got back, they saw this banana rum, and they thought it was going to be the same as the honey rum, and they're like, "Oh, we can just sip at it, and it's lovely and everything." And of course, it's not that kind of thing.
No, it's really not.
And so they gave it to me with like a whole, "We don't know what to do with it." And do you know what I did? Typical millennial, just went straight to Google, serving suggestions.
Yeah.
And one of the serving suggestions was serve it with cream soda.
Ooh.
And it makes it taste like banana ice cream.
Ooh.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, that sounds good.
Now, if we wanted to get extra sugary, I was thinking maybe put in a bit of a toffee syrup and make it a banoffee ice cream.
Wow.
Yeah.
My undiagnosed diabetes would have had a field day.
But, I'm not going to buy toffee syrup purely for this random bit of alcohol I have once every 6 months.
Yeah.
Because I do not drink when I'm at home. I normally don't think about it.
Yeah.
You remember that bottle of whiskey my boss bought me?
Oh, yeah.
Still got it.
Really?
Yeah. He bought that to me like, what, two years ago?
Yeah.
Still got it. Still untouched.
But even then, like, you're not like a sit there and like, even if you were drinking, you wouldn't order like a whiskey on the rocks or anything like that.
No.
You're more of a spirit mixer kind of guy.
Spirit mixer is my go-to, yes. But I can drink whiskey when I want to. Generally,
Yeah.
Playing some card games, break the whiskey out, gotta fit the moment.
What kind of clientele you're with,
Yeah. So I've just been riddled with spots over 4 alcoholic drinks, and that's annoyed me.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
And I was also attacked by a seagull this week.
A seagull?
A seagull. So
okay.
was walking back to work after my lunch break. For the people who don't know, I go home for my lunch break because I live right around the corner.
Yeah.
And as I was walking down the road, I just hear this seagull just start going off on one. It's like, go, go, go. Yeah. I look up and there's this seagull just flying at me. Like, we lock eyes and everything.
Oh, okay.
And like, it dives to me. I duck out the way, turn around, and it goes back up in the air, swoops back round, comes for me again.
Did you have a chip in your hair?
I don't know. Exactly. It was the exact same thoughts. I was like, have I got food on me?
What did you have for lunch?
I had a sandwich from Lidl.
Oh.
But it came for me 3 times, and it only stopped like diving at me.
Yeah.
When I got to Undercliff Road, where there's a little canopy over the row of shops. I went under that, and it gave up because it couldn't see me anymore. I honestly don't know. I was like, what
the cojones on that seagull? Should have bitch slapped it away.
Oh, if it gotten close enough, I would have gone. But I was more in shock. I was like, what is this bird doing? Why is it coming for me?
That's bizarre.
I need to go away and Google if seagulls get like protective over their nests or something. Maybe I walked by its nest. Maybe, and it's sort of gone get away. I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, it being Felix though, it was probably a roadman seagull.
Hey yo, you got any chips? Don't leave me hanging. I know you got the good stuff. And it was just like, I walked back into work and everyone must have seen my face and they're like, what's up? And I was like, I've just been attacked by a seagull. And they're like, are you alright? I was like, yeah, it didn't come anywhere close to me. It went for me.
They had this vicious look in his eye.
Maybe it didn't like green. I was wearing a green t-shirt. Maybe it was like, oh my god. Maybe it's a gay seagull. It's like, that t-shirt looks horrible on you.
Green, not your colour.
Get it off now.
Oh, jeez.
This is the fashion police. Call! That's their siren. Call! Caw! And he was just like,
oh, wow.
And then when I was like leaving work that day, they were like, be careful of that seagull. I was like, look, mate, if it's out there again, I'm going to have serious words with it.
Jesus.
I've never had a seagull just go for me. Like, obviously, we live in Phoenix, so we live on the seafront.
Yeah.
Seagulls everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And also, they generally go for people who have fish and chips
Yeah.
in the hands. To the point where I have seen seagulls just go right up to people.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
But this one went for me, and I had nothing. I had nothing to give. It was all by myself. I was so scared. So that was my week. Basically, a pretty calm week at work. Just got attacked by a seagull and covered in spots.
Sounds marvellous.
Maybe a witch has cursed me or something.
Probably.
Spots.
Or a gay.
Or a gay has cursed me. Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, dear.
I shall curse you with horrible fashion and spots all over the place.
Oh, dear.
But anyway, we have been to the cinema twice this week.
If you didn't guess by the title of this episode.
They might not have.
Never know.
Maybe they think it's one long film.
Yeah, could be. What do you want to do first?
Let's do the one we saw yesterday first.
Okay, so we saw Boogeyman yesterday.
Boogeyman.
I enjoyed this film.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a relatively good horror. I felt it was more psychological.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. I like the fact that it kind of, because I've slept on it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
I enjoy the film. I like the fact they kind of went with that Jaws feel, that you didn't see the monster straight away. It was very much like lurking in the dark, and it was kind of like, oh, is it there or is it over there? Or I enjoyed that. That's those aspects of that. That was good. The acting was good. The young girl that's in it, who plays Princess Leia in the Kenobi TV show, I thought she was very good. And the sister and the dad, they were good actors and actresses. Overall, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was a very strong film, but I do not think it's as bad as Ben's thoughts.
Well, this is actually interesting because, of course, normally we record these the moment we leave the cinema, so we got our got our very fresh thoughts.
Yes, yeah.
And as we were discussing it yesterday, you were relatively positive about it. So it's interesting that, as you said, now that you've slept on it, your thoughts aren't as positive, which is interesting.
Well, no, I still think they're as positive as they were. I just giving myself. And they were.
I disagree.
Well, okay then. Apparently Ben doesn't know what I'm thinking, but carry on.
No. For me, my thoughts have not changed.
Okay.
I disliked it then, and I still dislike it now.
Cool.
I just, horror films, of course, have that whole idea of building tension.
Mm-hmm.
A door will slightly creak open, and everyone stares at the door, and they slowly make their way to the door, and the music starts to crescendo to a high pitch.
Yep.
And you can feel the tension rising, and generally that tension is followed by a jump scare.
Yep.
There was none of that. Well, they tried the moments to raise the tension, and I don't know about you, but I just felt zero tension.
I felt the tension though.
I did not feel any tension whatsoever. I was just like, okay, great, get on with it. To the point where, have you ever seen me check my watch in a film?
No.
This is the first ever time I have checked my watch in a film. It was a 90-minute film.
Yeah.
And I checked my watch. It dragged. It absolutely dragged. It was, the less I could say about it, the better.
I do get what you mean in the sense of it, even though for an hour and a half film, it felt like a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. And where I've noticed that a lot of horror films like to stay in the sort of 70s, 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And I think I've worked out why.
Oh yeah, why?
Technology.
Oh, okay.
Because, of course, generally, like for most films, the monster or the creature, whatever the dark force is, it picks people off one by one. But generally, when you've got technology, when you've got a smartphone in your pocket, you're not alone technically. And this is what annoyed me about this film, is they learned that the monster was afraid of light, and they all seem to magically forget that they had portable torches in their pockets until the last 10 minutes, and then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, I have a torch in my pocket. Shine, 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 shine. And it was just kind of like, that could have been throughout the whole film. So that annoyed me.
Yeah, I think the only thing with that is it's obviously it's based on a Stephen King novella.
Yeah, but when was that written? I don't know.
Well, I forgot to look it up. I was doing my ironing. but I can only assume that knowing it being Stephen King, it was probably an older novel.
Possibly.
And they've obviously tried to not use mobile phones.
Yes, but they then set it in the modern day where you have got mobile phones, where it's like, oh, stay here and I'll go investigate. It's like, no, you call that person, you keep them on the line, and then yeah. So I really wasn't a fan at all.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for the film to end. I wasn't scared. It wasn't tense. It was just shocking for me how poor of a film it was. And supposedly Stephen King's put his seal of approval on this film, hasn't he? Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has.
Considering he hates the Shining film, and he says that it's an absolute terrible film when The Shining is a cult classic. I don't think this has got anything on The Shining.
I don't.
And so that now makes me question, Steve, if Stephen King has put his seal of approval, people watching, do you know if Stephen King has put his seal of approval on this film? Comment down below.
And please let us know.
Please let us know. If he has, then my, not appreciation, but my expectation of Stephen King's taste levels has severely dropped.
Fair enough.
You know. But yeah, that's my opinion on the film. It wasn't scary, it wasn't tense. It dragged on.
Yeah.
Like I'm dragging on now.
Like you are. So, shall we move on to the second film?
Let's move on to the second film.
So, literally just been to see Transformers Rise of the Beast.
So now this time we are getting our raw opinions.
Raw opinions.
No sleeping.
No sleepy sleeps. Shall I go first? Or do you want to go first?
Yeah, you go first again.
Okay. I really enjoyed this movie.
Of course you did.
I loved the old animated Transformers Beast Wars TV show when I was a kid. Really, really enjoyed that. I liked the inclusion of the Maximals in this movie and what they did with it. They've taken a few liberties because obviously it's not a direct copy of the TV show. They've just used the characters and put it into their own story, which I enjoyed. Once again, you can't, as much as especially when like Michael Bay was directing them and before they rebooted it with Bumblebee and this, you cannot say that the CGI is poor in this film. You know, they compared to what like some of the Marvel movies have been pumping out lately.
Yeah.
The CGI in this movie was really great. I thought the voice acting by the cast was great. It was nice to have, and I'm 99.9% sure that Ron Perlman actually voiced Optimus Primal in the TV show as well.
Oh, right, okay.
And it was nice to have him doing the voice instead of like another, like the same guy that does Prime, do Prime again, because obviously they're different people. As much as we don't like him, I think Pete Davidson did all right as Mirage.
Yeah.
You know, it's the voice acting, his personality fit the character, and it was quite amusing. He had the best jokes for comic relief in the movie. There was a good few laughs. Action was great. I don't think it's always an issue with the Transformers movies that the human element that they always bring in with human characters, as opposed to people always want to see more Transformers.
Yeah.
But I do think I think it was a good mix. I don't think it's as good as Bumblebee. I think Bumblebee is better.
Okay.
But I did really enjoy this film. Critiques? None. I can't think of any.
Okay.
At this moment in time. Ben.
Haven't slept on it yet.
Haven't slept on it yet.
Right, okay. So, bearing in mind, I've only ever seen the first Transformers film with Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
And I've not seen a Transformers film since.
Haven't you?
Nope.
I thought you had.
Nope. Not seen a Transformers film since.
Who did I see Bumblebee with?
Not me.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Where was you?
If it was me, I have wiped it from my memory.
It's got Haley Steinfeld.
Nope.
Oh, okay. And John Cena.
Nope. I mean, I can't really guess with John Cena because you're not supposed to be able to see him, are you?
Yeah,
so,
good point.
It's just an invisible it was a blank screen. Right, okay. Focus.
Your thoughts?
My thoughts. It's a perfectly serviceable kids film. Your kids are going to love it because fighting machines and big explosions.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really do anything new. Like, I was sitting there going, oh, it's Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer. It's the original, it's the first Avengers film. It's the Justice League film. You know, a minion of a big, powerful entity comes to Earth in an attempt to bring that big, powerful entity to Earth with a special beam up into the sky. It literally is a carbon copy of all those films. You could swap out the Transformers for the Fantastic Four, for the Avengers, for the Justice League, and nothing would be different.
Yep.
That being said, I shall repeat again, your kids are going to love it. You know, because it's big, flashy thing. Because kids don't need complicated storylines.
No.
Kids just need something going whoosh across the screen.
Yeah.
And that's what this does. It goes whoosh across the screen. I will agree with you that CGI was very good. However, I don't know about you, but the transformation CGI was a bit meh.
They've been trying to streamline them more in the more recent movies, trying not to make them too long.
No, that's not what I was saying. It was like when they would transform from cars to humanoids.
Yeah.
It was like they became more fluid rather than being actual machine parts. Because I don't know, I never watched the TV show, but I always sort of imagine them moving a bit like the action figures, very Rubik's Cube-like. You know, this bit twists here, that bit twists there, and it's all very mechanical, all very square. Whereas the CGI to me looked very like they almost became slightly fluid. And I didn't appreciate that. Because if they're supposed to be metal made lifelike, you would have that rigidity.
Yeah.
So that was my only issue with the CGI. As overall, the CGI was very, very good. Because as you said, when you've got some of these Marvel films coming out and the CGI is shocking, it's nice to appreciate a smaller studio doing better CGI than them.
Yeah.
But then, as I said to you, as the credits were rolling, we've got the MCU. I'm ready for the HCU, the Hasbro Cinematic Universe. Come on.
Yeah.
Whilst I agree with you that most of the acting was decent, I don't know why, but the guy voicing Optimus Prime started to annoy me, and I don't know why. I think it sounded like he was doing an advert.
Well, I think he's the guy who's been voicing Optimus Prime since like day one.
Yeah.
And he's obviously a much older gent now.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably kind of
stuck in his ways.
Not even stuck in his ways, but I think he's probably, his voice might be getting tired, so he might be struggling maybe.
But you know how like when you watch an advert, it's like coming this summer.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. It sounded like every line he was doing was that. It was like, we must go now.
Yeah, but that's Optimus Prime.
I know, but
Optimus Prime is supposed to ignite like the fire, the spark in their chest, Ben. The spark in their chest.
But it sounded like he was reading for an advert to me.
Fair enough.
So that was acting, the cut of the CGI. For someone who doesn't actually know anything about Transformers, it was easy enough to follow along.
Yeah.
You know? But I do have one question for you.
I should try and answer it for you.
Why is it that the Autobots can only change into one vehicle, whereas the bad guys could change into multiple? Or could they change into multiple?
When did they do
I know
that?
the lady bad guy.
Yeah.
She could fly, but then she also managed to turn into a race car. And race cars don't fly.
No.
I don't care what universe you're in.
No. You clearly never watched a Fast and Furious movie.
You think?
No. But anyway, no, I think it was because when she was in robot form, she had she
wings.
wasn't like they like. And it's the same with like Bumblebee. His doors turn into wings so he can glide, and I think it's that kind of premise. I don't think it was a case of, it was just a case of it was part of the story more than anything.
Could they change to more than one thing in the TV show? Because obviously, for toys, they can only change into one thing because toys need that limitation.
The idea is that what
the TV show solved the toys.
They scan, like in the first one, they scan the car or the vehicle that matches their body type
Right.
So they only transform into that.
Right.
But I'm assuming because I can't really remember because it's been a long time since I've watched them all. But
you didn't prepare for this? That's shocking.
Oh, I'm sorry that I didn't watch over 20 years of cartoons just for one movie.
Do you know what, Paddy? Do you know what?
Yeah, don't you say anything.
Do better.
Oh, shut up. But I think the reason why Mirage could change into different sport cars,
Yes.
is because of his
Mirage ability.
Yeah, but not even because he was projecting. It was because he was designed to be more interchangeable.
But a car changing into another car is still a car.
Yeah.
I must have got it wrong, but I thought the lady bad guy turned into a plane at one point.
No,
I must have got it wrong.
I think she was just flying.
She was just flying. Okay.
As opposed to just because I think the evil ones only transformed once into their vehicles, and most of the time they were just in their
humanoid form.
Yeah.
Yes. Which came first, Gundam?
Chicken or the egg?
Gundam or Transformers?
Ooh, I probably would say it's going to be Transformers because Gundam would be Japanese anime.
Yes.
So I would have thought that would have taken. But then that would have taken from Super Sentai. Gundam. I'm Google it.
You're going to Google it. Okay.
Release. Well, that one says 1979, so it could have been first, actually. Original.
Anyway,
whilst
you're doing that, I need to talk about something.
Okay.
Quick. No, I've talked about the seagull. I can't talk about anything else. I'm just too petrified by the seagull.
What was up in that screen with people coming in late?
I don't know.
This is what I was talking about the other week. Is that it really bugs me when people do that.
Mm-hmm. But it was also people coming in late were all single people, on their own, and maybe they were like, "Oh, I don't want to go in and watch Transformers film by myself. I'm going to look such a fool."
Transformers come out in 98. 98. Fuck's sake.
89?
No. 84.
84.
Okay, and Gundam came out in 79.
So Gundam's the original. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say it was original because Gundam was a big, massive robot in space.
And Transformers isn't a big, massive robot in space?
Yeah, but not as big as Gundam. Because Gundam was more Super Sentai, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like Power Rangers and everything.
Yes, but they're all big, massive robots in space.
Which is cool! Like you said, take it, kids! It's amazing.
Yeah. Don't go unless you're... I don't even have to say anything, just unless you're this.
For the audio listeners, Ben's pointing at me.
Yeah, I'm just waving my hand generally in Paddy's direction. Yeah, unless you're a huge nerd like Paddy, take your kids.
Pretty much.
Because that was initially lost on me, but I still enjoyed it.
I think it was good.
It would have been better if I had a kid. No, it wouldn't be, because then where the fuck did the kid come from?
Well, exactly. You had a big kid with you. Yay!
I have a big kid with me all the time, don't I?
Oh.
Anyway, final thoughts. Scary seagull go car.
Go car could be part of the gay seagull police.
Could be part of the gay seagull fashion police. Or it's part of the chip mafia.
Yep.
One of the two.
Paddy needs some spice in his life because he's an unseasoned white man.
I'll get you some paprika. It's fine.
Cool, paprika. That's pushing the button.
I apparently react very quickly and instantly to sugar, which is interesting. It's all over my face. Don't. Wait. The Boogeyman was terrible.
It was good.
It was terrible. Literally, if you've got only an hour left to live, go watch that because that will seem like an eternity.
What? Christ! It wasn't that bad. God, what is up with you?
It wasn't that bad, but
you're getting too critical doing this now. I think
I've always been critical of films.
Yeah, but I think you're getting
used to hate talking about films with me because I used to be too critical. Yeah. No, that was savage, but in the moment, it was just it was funny. It was funny. And Transformers, go take your kids. They'll love it.
It's a fun time at the cinema. You're gonna have a good laugh.
Mm.
You know, entertain.
Kids film wise, Puss in Boots: Last Wish still the best one so far.
Yeah, but that was a fully animated.
I didn't say animated film. I said kids film.
Oh, okay, kids film.
Kids film.
Fair enough.
Puss in Boots is still the best.
Yeah, of this year, because I was right.
You were right.
Thank you.
Well, technically,
I was talking. We're in the UK,
yes.
and I was talking about
there we
the
go.
UK.
There we go. Yeah.
So I was right.
You were right, but it came out in 2022 in the USA. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
put that out there, just so it's there.
Just because Ben
on the
can't be
internet.
wrong.
No. I've just admitted that you were right, but it did come out in 2022 in the USA. There we go.
There you go.
So thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel,
Share with your friends.
Comment
down below. Have you watched The Boogeyman? Have you watched Transformers? What are your opinions of the two?
Have you been attacked by the Kakar Seagull police?
Scary, man. It's scary.
Scary, man. You were there, man.
You don't know.
It's game over. Oh, dear.
And if you're listening on Spotify, what is it? Leave us a 5-star review.
Leave us a 5-star review on the channel. Comment in the sections below on the film as well, on the films that we've talked about, and anything else that we've talked about today.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you
in the next one
next week for the film.
What if you don't do these in order? What if you don't edit these?
I was going to do.
Never promise things.
I was going to do this ones in order.
Just see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.